Hey Raghunath, tell everyone about our Patreon community.
Sure, Kostuba. The Wisdom of the Sages Patreon community is an incredible online yoga resource. If you like the type of yoga wisdom and culture we share on the show, then our Patreon community is a great next step. This is a listener-supported podcast, and any level of sponsorship will unlock a wide range of live and archived classes, talks, and even workshops.
Raghunath teaches, I teach, and we have a host of other excellent teachers on topics ranging from yoga philosophy, asana classes, storytelling, Ayurveda, kirtan, cooking, meditation, and a lot more.
We even have an incredible online Bhakti 12-step recovery group.
So if you want to check it out, go to patreon.com/wisdom of the sages.
All right, let's get it on.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Live from Goa in Palolem Beach, this is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily yoga podcast, with your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center in New York, Kostubadas. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to my birthday episode. Well, not my actual birthday, but it has been, Kostuba. Let's see, what year is it? 223, 91. I've been initiated on this day for 32 years. I almost said 22 years. 32 years. I took initiation on this day. What do you think about that?
Congratulations, Raghunath.
Thank you. I thank you. It's a birthday for me of sorts in the holy land of Vrindavan. And I will say this, and I told this to the Bright Light this morning. I said, Kelly, it's been 32 years, and I am more inspired in Bhakti, and I believe it more to be true than I ever was, and I'm more excited to go further than I was that day of initiation. It's just, I truly feel it gets better and better. Well, some people aren't. Some people get out of it and they're like, they just go a different thing, or they're like, wait a second, this isn't for me. This is for me. I'm glad I'm doing what I'm doing.
Okay, I am too, Raghunath.
How are you doing over there?
Good.
Your
having a lovely
champak
time.
flower in your hair.
You know, today is, you know that it's that day because it's the appearance day of Sri Nityananada.
Yes.
And so we could talk about that a little bit in a bit, but so we had a little celebration here. You know, I'm here with my wife Gita Priya and my brother-in-law Tapasvi Swami. And
Isn't it great that Gita Priya's brother is a Swami?
you always
How cool is that? Every time I hear that, I'm like, that's cool. I wish I had a brother-in-law. Why don't one of your brothers take sannyas, Mara?
So any case, they whipped up. I didn't have anything to do with it. They whipped up a beautiful feast for the occasion, and we dined on that and enjoyed ourselves. It's been a quiet day here. Nice, beautiful, quiet day. I swam in the morning. Oh, and this is what I had to... Raghunath?
Tell me, Shelly,
I have an apology to make to you.
you found a jellyfish.
I was swimming. I was doing a little back early in the morning. I was out there. I was. Are you taking pleasure in my pain? Is that what you're doing?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah, well, maybe I am actually. Maybe I was.
So
What happened? Did you get stung?
No, I didn't get stung. I was swimming. It was beautiful out. You know, I had big waves, but like peaceful in between the big waves. It's perfect. You know, I was out at about 8:30 this morning swimming with Tapasvi Swami, and but he's a very good swimmer. He was like going way out there.
Guy's like an
and I was
athlete
playing a little bit. When he grew up in Sri Lanka swimming like crazy, and I was not going out as far, but I was swimming around. I was doing a little backstroke, and then I bumped into something. I didn't know what it was. You know, it's always weird when you're in the ocean, you bump into something, right?
Yeah, I don't like bumping anything in the ocean.
And so I looked around. I thought it was some piece of plastic, full of coconut. What is it?
Oh,
It was a jellyfish.
oh God, yes.
I bumped. Why does that make you so happy?
You're lucky you're not stung. You're
Well,
lucky you weren't. Were you
I did a
stung?
little research. So this was now It was probably even yesterday on the show saying I've come here so many times I've never once seen a jellyfish. Now I've seen a jellyfish here.
It's the
So
power of
that's-
intention. You called it to you.
I think you called
I'm
it.
serious. I'm serious. My son jumped in the water. They said there was nothing dangerous in the water.
Here?
And then after he got out, the boat guy started screaming, "Medusa, Medusa, Medusa!" I was like, "Oh no, what does that
Where?
mean?" And
Here at Varkala? Did you freeze up? If people let me know if Rogu froze up or if it's me, please, as quickly as possible. It's Rogu's froze. Okay. In any case, Raghunath is, I don't know where his son was. I don't know if he was here in Varkala, but I did bump into I think it's called a white spotted jellyfish. I did a little research. Apparently they have very little venom. So I was fine. But, let's see when Rogu gets back here. But until then, maybe I could just speak a little bit about this day. And I know that, due to the lunar calendar, sometimes like this day was actually yesterday in the States, but it's still here now. So I'm not going to get into a whole description of why that is. But it's being, Lord Nityananda's appearance day is being celebrated today in India. And it's kind of, it's really gets into the very esoteric aspect, the extra esoteric aspect of our bhakti practice and our particular lineage, understanding who Sri Nityananda is. But maybe I can just try to package it in a simple enough way, or in a short way. I think we have Raghunath. Can you hear me? Are you back? Speak to me, Raghu. There you go.
can you hear me?
Yeah, you're a little
Sorry.
quiet. No, you're back.
So you
Okay.
I last left you off with a confession about jellyfish
Yes.
confession.
Yes, so I did bump into this jellyfish, and
I'm sorry.
fortunately, it was not it was no problem. It was a peaceful jellyfish. It didn't attack me or do anything.
You have that effect on people.
Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. I don't think I always do, but I
will
did a little
not sting
research
him.
too. I think it was a white
tell me.
spotted jellyfish. White
You did a
spotted.
little jellyfish research, and do they
Yeah.
sting?
They
Yeah.
have very little venom, so even if they do, it's like practically nothing. So I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway,
that's
I wanted
good.
to share that with you, but you were right about that. There was a jellyfish.
Some
I saw
jellyfish. I
one,
was scared for my son, but anyway, there's more. He says his father and mother out there. Anyway, anything else you want to discuss? Oh, I have
Yeah.
I have a confession to make. I
Okay.
shaved off my Sika.
Oh, you did.
I shaved it off today. Here's the deal. I don't like rituals unless they have substance. The reason why there's a Sika, it's supposed to protect the Brahmarandra. That is the soft spot in the head. And that is, where they say that's where the soul leaves the body. And I'm just too bald to grow anything there.
Okay.
So I shaved off my little, what's it called? My little communion wafer up there.
I mean, that's not the only
it
reason.
looked
for
like
it.
a little, yeah.
That's one reason for it.
What's the other reason, brother?
Well, it's
You got a
just
better reason than that?
Yeah, it's a marker. It's of identifying as a Vaishnava and as a Brahmana.
Yeah, but that's the reason. No, I think some Mayavadis wear them too.
Yeah, as a
I
Brahmana.
think some Shaivites wear them. I think some Shaivites wear them.
I'm saying that
Brahmin.
that Brahmanas who are Shaivites, will wear them. Smarta Brahmanas will wear them, but in a Vaishnava lineage, not all kind of men wear them.
It didn't work. It looked like a bottle cap or a. It didn't look like this guy's a devotee. It looked like this guy's a nutcase.
It's okay. It's all right.
I tried. I really tried. I really want one. I'm cool with people saying, "Hey, he's a Hare Krishna." I want people to say that, but it just doesn't. Now they're like, yeah, it was like this person's like clinically insane. That's what they're saying when they walk by me.
Okay.
But just
I was getting a little bit into speaking about Nityananda's appearance, but maybe we could have the announcements and I could jump back into it. I don't do the announcements.
Mary's not feeling great today. She's a little exhausted.
All right,
Hello,
announcements today.
What's
have an
going on
asana
here,
class
Mara?
with
Hold it. We got to get to the bottom of this. What's going on here?
I don't feel so good.
You've
I've
been
been wiped out all
partying.
day.
You've been
What's that?
partying too heavily. You've been partying too heavily over there in Goa.
It's not part. This woman is like the most balanced, fastidious eating.
Shopping? Where they have to do
sits and
shopping?
knits. She doesn't shop. I have to beg her to shop.
I haven't
Okay,
been
this is what I want
shopping.
you
I
to
haven't
do.
even been in the sun too much.
This is what I want you to do, Ragana. I want you to get her 2 coconuts with the coconut water. I think if she drinks
Yeah.
that, she's gonna get electrolytes. I think she's gonna feel rejuvenated. I want
I
you to
just
do
got
that.
her one. She just
Yeah.
downed one.
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe,
okay.
maybe
So
Maybe
halfway
we need
there.
another
One more.
Yeah.
Okay, get her some electrolytes.
All right. We have an asana class with Josh Kane for Patreon members today at 10:30 a.m.
Okay.
We have a Bhakti recovery group meeting today at 1 p.m. And then tomorrow we're all taking the day off. And Sunday show will be at 6:30 a.m.
Okay. So yeah, tomorrow day off. Greg DeGase, who had an interesting comment.
I see it. Get
Why
a
not?
plug. Get a
Yeah.
Sika plug. I would do that
plugs.
actually. A Sika plug.
It'll cover your Brahmarandra.
Cover my Brahmarandra.
Okay. All right, let's get into it.
Let's
Raghunath,
dive
right?
into Srimad Bhagavatam. Ready?
No, I thought we were going to dive
Narayanam
into talking
Namas-
about. Hold, slow.
Oh. You want to
We're
talk
gonna-
about Nityananada, Prabhu?
I mean, I thought that's what we were going to do, right?
Yeah.
You okay? So let's just get a little bit into it. And like I said, this is the really esoteric part of it. But the idea is that here we understand that this isn't something that you explain to brand new people and never get it. And for people that are halfway into it, it's still going to be like challenging to put it all together. But in one way, it can be explained relatively simply, right? And that is that.
How would you give the cliff notes to
Well,
Nityananda,
first,
Prabhu?
I would say that we understand that God manifests in many different ways, right? God is a person, and a person that has desires and is creative and has the potency to manifest in so many varieties of ways. So he manifests as like all pervading spiritual energy, Brahman, and he manifests as like as Lord Vishnu within the heart of every living being. That's Paramatma. Right, God within the heart. He also manifests as the person Sri Krishna, right? So there's Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. That's a whole study right there, right? There's so much to get into right there in that theology. Very interesting stuff. But it goes beyond that, right? That it's said, even if you go back to the Upanishads, it's saying that, that God manifests, he divides for the purpose of enjoyment, right? He expands for the purpose of enjoyment. Just like Radha. Radha is the Shakti of Sri Krishna, right? But she has her own individual consciousness and her own individual heart and her own individual love for him. And by his expanding his energy in that way, he takes pleasure in their love. And that's just one way that he expands. He's going to expand in so many different varieties. And one of those that he expands is different avatars. He takes on different forms. And one of the first one from Krishna, is Balaram, right? That he becomes his own brother. Right, his own big brother, and that's a deep, intimate, beautiful relationship. Now it says that both Balaram, let me bring it to the next level. Sri Krishna, seeing the ecstasy that's felt by particularly Radha, right, his own devotee, in her heart she's feeling love for him, and he sees that experience is somehow even deeper than what he experiences in being loved by her. And so he says, I want to know what it's like to love Krishna. And the only way he can do that is to become a devotee of Krishna. He becomes a Sri Chaitanya, right? And Sri Chaitanya's inner mission is to relish the mood of devotion of Srimati Radharani, what it is like to love Krishna. That's a very deep esoteric idea where I'm just skimming right over it. But he also teaches how to live as a devotee, particularly by inaugurating the Sankirtan, right? And inaugurating the chanting of the Mahamantra through music and all that. But not only he comes, all his associates from Vrindavan, from the spiritual world, come and they take on different forms and they enjoy each other's association in a new variety, right? They all enjoy being devotees of Krishna in a new setting and with new identities. And one of them, Balaram,
I wonder if you could use this analogy like, okay, we're all friends here, and now we're going to go to a party and dress up as different people.
In a
and we're all
sense,
going
it's
to
like
enjoy
that.
our relationships there
in a
at another
different-
party in disguise. You've got a mustache on. I've got a top hat and a monocle. Jiva G's there, and she's got like a cheerleader outfit on, and then Bright Lights there, and Mara, and they're dressed as what?
Let's call that a crude analogy, but yes.
A crude analogy, but that's how we're explaining the avatars and avataris.
Yeah. Okay. You got to get a little closer to the mic, Regan. You sound a little quiet to me. And so when Balaram comes, Krishna's brother comes, he comes as Nityananda, right? He comes as in a sense a brother of Sri Chaitanya, and these two relish the Sankirtan together, right? But Nityananda's, there's something so special about him is that Krishna, his mood in Sanskrit, his mood is called. You can say, Raghu? You there?
His mood. Krishna's mood. Can you hear me?
As compared to Sri Chaitanya's mood, Krishna's mood is
I don't know what you're
Madhurya. Madhurya. Very
okay.
Right. His pastimes are all very sweet. His attitude is very sweet. When he comes as Sri Chaitanya and is relishing the mood of love that Radha feels, that sweetness, it kind of transforms. It's the same person, but he's exhibiting a different mood, and that mood is called audarya, which means the mood of compassion or the mood of merciful, right? And so Sri Chaitanya becomes Krishna in the mood of granting compassion and mercy. It's a beautiful. The deeper you go into it, the more beautiful it gets. Now, when Nityananda comes, he's called Adi Guru because he's even more merciful than Sri Chaitanya in that he is going out. Sri Chaitanya, they're together in Puri, and Sri Chaitanya asked Nityananda, you know what, although we relish our association together here, I want you to go back to Bengal, and I want you to go door to door, right? And I want people to see the devotion that you exhibit and be inspired to chant Krishna's names by your example. I'm asking you to go, right? And so, it causes him deep feelings of separation to have to go, but he goes. And his whole point is he's extending Krishna's mercy even more than Sri Chaitanya. He's like the pinnacle of compassion. And he's approaching anyone and everyone and begging them, there's something here that's so valuable, and it's being given out practically for free. It's not requiring great austerities. It's not requiring great learning. Even if you've been living a dented can life for lifetime after lifetime, you simply take to this chanting. And the gifts that you'll receive are just inconceivable. And so that's Nityananda. Yeah, he's called the Adi Guru because he's the first. Any guru following him is just extending what he's extending, right? That they're operating in that mood. That here, please take something. You'll benefit so much for it. I want you. I'm practically giving it away now.
It's yours for the taking. You just have to desire it. That's the problem. We just don't desire it.
Yeah. So anyway, so you're saying it's on that day that you were initiated, right?
My day was initiated in Vrindavan, 1991.
You going to speak about it,
right.
or is that it? I thought you were going to go into
That's
a little
it. That's
detail.
all you get. I'm just saying that I'm more inspired today than I was even then. I feel like it's sometimes you feel like, well, okay, you went to you're in Varkala. Tell me, was it good as you expected? You're like, yeah, it was good. Yeah, there was a jellyfish, but yeah, it was good. So it's sort of like, okay, been doing this for like 32 years. Is it good? And the answer is yeah. It's better than I expected. It's more real than it was even then, and I'm excited to go further.
Okay. Well, I want to share one moment from that day, Raghunath, because I was there too, right?
Raghu's too quiet.
Yeah, you either have to get a little closer to the mic, or you got to turn it up a little bit. You sound real quiet.
All right, go.
But you're saying that you're more enthusiastic now than then, but I did see you in a state of incredible enthusiasm on that day.
We went to the Yamuna right afterwards. Do you remember that?
So yeah, you received first initiation. I received second initiation. And then along with our gurus, we all went down to the Yamuna afterwards. That was when you could bathe in the Yamuna before it was so horribly polluted as it is now.
Yeah.
Heartbreakingly polluted. And we bathed together in the Yamuna River. It was beautiful. But later that evening, I was in the temple with my guru and Giriraj Swami, with Tamal Krishna Goswami and Giriraj Swami. And it was the Sandhya Arti. And because it was is there any place more beautiful in the world than Krishna Balaram Mandir on a holiday? The way they
Best
decorate.
place ever.
I mean, the flowers, just the flowers alone are mind blowing. How many draped
temple
everywhere?
Courtyard. You know what's really cool about that temple, and I've never been there for this, but it's a temple courtyard and it goes down. It's sort of sunken. They fill it with water
Sunken
and
courtyard.
have a boat festival.
I've been there
Have you
for
ever
that
seen-
many times,
You've
several
been there for
times.
the boat
at least,
festival?
Yeah, yeah, it's lovely. Oh, it's so sweet. Yeah.
It's like, who
In other
would
words, they-
think of that? A boat festival. They put the deities on a
beautiful
little
festival.
boat.
They filled
float
up the
them
courtyard with
around.
water. Yeah, flower boat and they have incredible kirtan. That again, I think we've said this before, but within those four walls of that temple, just the devotion that's reverberating in that space is just incredible. So, in any case, part of the decoration, flowers are a large part of the decoration, but also on that day, you know, on the altar, there's so much fruit. They decorate with the fruit, right? And so this was the Sandhya
That's
Arti,
right.
the Arti in the evening, where like, okay, they're breaking down, they're about to close the curtains for the night, and they're breaking down the decorations. So they started throwing out all the fruit, and I'm about 30 feet away from you, and with my guru and Giriraj Swami, and you're like in the midst of the kirtan, right in front of Gaudi Tai on the altar, and the pujaris start to throw out the fruit, and everybody's catching it. And you caught a piece of fruit. I don't know if you remember this.
Was I excited?
You not only were you excited, when you caught that fruit, you responded as if you had just captured within your palms prema bhakti, like you had achieved the very goal of human existence, and you danced.
I might have actually attained prema bhakti at that moment.
You were dancing and jumping, and my guru and Giriraj Swami were just looking at you and just appreciating, but like laughing and appreciation. You're smiling and laughing and appreciation. I never forget that moment.
Sweet. Oh, that's sweet. Oh, thank you for bringing that back up.
Yeah. But you still sound
All
a
right,
little
my
quiet to
friends.
me. I don't know
Let's
what
dive
everybody
into
else
the
is saying.
Srimad Bhagavatam,
Yeah, you're
please.
quiet, Raghunath. What's going on?
I am the
You're quiet.
I don't know what to do. I don't know.
Get closer to the mic.
Cord.
Just get closer to the mic.
Can you hear me?
Or, yes, either
I'm
get
right
closer
on
to
this
the,
thing. I'm practically eating this lollipop.
Now you sound good. Now you sound, yeah, that was it right there.
Check. Okay. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narotamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayat. Before we start in the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan. Unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and
Oh, he froze up again. Let's hope he comes back quick. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayana, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayeshva badreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki.
we're like the barbershop quartet.
Okay.
By regular attendance in classes in the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart will become eradicated. And loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised in transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Jnana Timarandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksurun Midatam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my teachers are opening my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my obeisances at their lotus feet.
Okay.
Mara, where is we?
Reading from Canto 5, Chapter 4, Text 16.
Alrighty, we're on this.
Yeah.
Okay, text 16. You good, Kasuba?
I'm good. We're hearing about Lord Rishabhadev. This is Lord Vishnu having taken birth as in the womb of a human queen, and now he has 100 sons or so, and he's kind of living. We're just getting a real brief overview of his time as king, but it's the next couple chapters are going to be the real important chapters where he's giving next chapter. There's a lot of important verses come from where he's teaching his sons, and then the chapters of his activities afterward too. The next two chapters will have a lot, but right now we're just kind of getting a quick overview.
Okay. Although Lord Rishabhadev knew everything about about confidential Vedic knowledge, which includes information about all types of dharmas, occupational duties, he still maintained himself as a Kshatriya and followed the instructions of the Brahmanas as they related to mind control, sense control, tolerance, and so forth. Right? So the Kshatriyas, the warriors, the heads of state, they subjugate themselves to the direction of the Brahmanas.
And the Brahmanas are saying, hey, if you're going to lead the people, you need to have a controlled mind. Let's work on that. Okay.
Let's work on that. Yeah.
I can help you. I can share practices with you. I can share teachings with you. I can share reflections with you to help you gain control of your mind, to help you gain control of your senses. I can help you by nature, the warrior is not so tolerant, right? They're quick to act, maybe short-tempered, hey, no, we can tolerate this. There's no need for going to war right now, so there's cool-headed people that the leaders are being trained by. Yeah.
Thus he ruled the people according to the system of Varnashram Dharma, which enjoins that the Brahmanas instruct the Kshatriyas. I just said that. And the Kshatriyas administer to the state through the Vaishyas and the Sudras.
Okay.
Text 17. Lord Rishabhadev performed all kinds of sacrifices 100 times according to the instructions of Vedic literature. Thus he satisfied Lord Vishnu in every respect. All the rituals were enriched by first-class ingredients. They were executed in holy places according to the proper time by priests who were all young and faithful. In this way, Lord Vishnu was worshipped, and the prasad was offered to all the demigods. Thus, the function and festivals were all successful.
Okay. There's something interesting here, right? It's like, what's the function of the king, right? He's made it like it says that he did all kinds of sacrifices 100 times, according to the instructions of the Vedic literature. That meant that he for each of these rituals, he created a whole event that everyone was tuned into. Right? Like, there's that leader that we all respect. There's that leader with such exemplary behavior. There's that leader that speaks such deep truths. And they're saying what we should all be doing now is coming together and demonstrating through ritual our gratitude to those that we're meant to be grateful to. And we're going to do that not once, we're going to do it 100 times. So maybe, I don't know how long he ruled, but maybe it was like an annual thing or something like that, that it was done. In this way, kind of like drawing everyone's attention to what's truth, what is, it's kind of a way of kind of training everyone, hey, we're all in this together. We're all benefiting together. We should all be grateful together. And through this, we can kind of bring peace and harmony, into the kingdom. Would you like to read the commentary, Raghu?
Sure. 17, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Text 17 purport. It is said that Komara Acharet Pragyo Dharman Bhagavataniha. It's from the Bhagavatam, 7th canto. A ritual should be performed by young men, even boys, at a tender age in order for the ritual to be performed successfully. From childhood, people should be trained in Vedic culture, especially in devotional service. In this way, one can perfect one's life. A Vaishnava does not disrespect the demigods, but on the other hand, he is not so foolish that he accepts each and every demigod as the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord is master of all the demigods. Therefore, the demigods are his servants. The Vaishnava accepts them as servants of the Supreme Lord, and he worships them directly. In Brahma Samhita, the important demigods, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and the incarnations and expansions of Lord Krishna, like Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu, and all the other Vishnu tattvas, as well as all the Shakti tattvas like Durga Devi, are all worshipped by the process of worshiping Govinda with the words Govindam Adipurusam Tamaham Bhajami. A Vaishnava worships the demigods in relation to Govinda, not independently. Vaishnavas are not so foolish that they consider the demigods independent of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is confirmed in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Ekale Ishvara Krishna Ara Shaba Britya. The Supreme Master is Krishna, and all others are his servants. This sort of like leans into the idea, which is very true, that there is a lot of demigod worship going on in India, especially.
You've noticed.
A lot
Yeah,
of
to this
demigod
day.
worship.
To this
And
day.
because they get stuff from the demigods, why not worship them? Well, you
Right.
got to see it in the bigger picture of things, where the demigods get their stuff from, right? The Bhagavad Gita says they're actually just getting it from Krishna anyway. Why
Mhm.
worship the demigods? They're all getting it from Krishna. Why not just go right to the top?
Right. Yeah. We've used this example before, but it's kind of like, say you're raised in a home, like a wealthy home, and
Right.
there are servants in the home, and they
Right.
are technically, they are like the immediate um benedictors of you. In other words, they bring you your
They're
food,
giving you
right?
food. They're giving you French
Yeah.
fries. They're giving you a soda pop.
Yeah, they're cleaning up and they're doing this and they're serving you in so many ways. Now, if you're spoiled, right? If you're not a refined child, but you're more like a brat, you don't even appreciate them, right? You're just like, whatever.
Give me more. Give me more. Give me more.
Yeah,
That's materialism.
right. But if you're a little bit cultured, then you have to show gratitude. Oh, every day you bring me, you feed me, thank you. So that's the ritual, right? Like, let me demonstrate the gratitude. But the thing is this, but if the child doesn't understand that those servants in the house, what they're bringing, the food that they're bringing you, that was actually provided by your parents, right?
Yeah. Don't forget your
like,
parents, kids.
It's your parents that actually are hiring the servants in the home. They're the ones that are behind everything,
Yeah.
and they're and so that's like a deeper knowledge. So therefore, in the Gita, like in the 7th chapter, I'll read a few verses from the 7th chapter.
Yeah,
Ready,
go.
brother, where Krishna speaks about this. He says, this is a famous verse. He says, after many births and deaths, one who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. So he's saying behind it, but even behind the demigods, right? The demigods are the cause of the rain. The demigods are the cause of the sun's shine. The demigods are the cause of so much, but he's the cause of that cause, right? He's behind it all. And people that recognize that, and it's actually a beautiful step up when people recognize it's kind of like I want to live in harmony with nature. I want to appreciate all the gifts that are given me. It's a beautiful thing that a culture supports that kind of
Right. It's appreciation. What it's our
Yeah.
biggest deficit in this world right now. It's like an appreciation.
Right. And so that's great. But the idea is that let's do this with the clearest understanding. So Krishna continues. He says, and he speaks kind of bluntly here, right? He says, those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires, they
Been there,
surrender
done
unto,
that.
okay, they surrender. And yeah, in other words, in my clarity, I realize that happiness is my nature. But if my intelligence has been stolen by material desires, I think I need other things to make me happy. So those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires surrender unto the demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own natures, right? So, I want rain for my crops. I'm worshiping a deva for that. I want wealth. I worship a deva for that, right? I want a nice wife or his husband or whatever. I worship one of the devas for that. But this is what Krishna says. He says, I'm in everyone's heart as the Paramatma, as the super soul. He knows our desires, right? He's right there. As soon as one desires to worship some demigod, some deva, I make their faith steady so that he can devote himself to that particular deity. Now, this is really interesting.
Very interesting.
I was just thinking today, like, it's a fact that when you read, like, say you read all the Puranas, it can be confusing because when you go back to certain Puranas, it sounds like, oh, Shiva's number one. Oh, Devi's number one. Why doesn't Krishna just be real clear about that, abundantly clear?
Right.
And here it's saying that because he's allowing you your independence to pursue your desires, right? So if you want to think that Devi is supreme, he'll encourage you, go ahead, go that way. If those are the desires you want to pursue, then go for it. But and he continues, endowed with such faith, that person endeavors to worship a particular demigod and obtains their desires. But in actuality, these benefits are bestowed by me alone. Right? They may be coming through the Deva, but the Deva is empowered to do it by the grace of Krishna.
Krishna's actually behind it.
So he wraps it up. This is chapter 7 of the Bhagavad Gita, text 23. He says, men of small intelligence. That's actually what he's right.
Krishna says it. We're not just saying that because we're biased towards Krishna. Krishna says, what is it?
He says alpamedasaha.
Alpamedasham.
Small intelligence. Literally, that's what it says. So men of small intelligence worship the Devas. Small because they don't understand their nature is beyond all this, right? It's men of small intelligence. Yeah.
Their fruits are, and the next line is, their fruits are limited and temporary. So it's those who are like worshiping God for stuff or gods for stuff. Don't you get it? It's all limited and temporary. That's the best you're going to get from the demigods. But if you actually really want transcendence, you really got to go to the boss, the Jefe, the supreme personality of Godhead. He's not going to give you stuff. He might even take away your stuff, but he's going to give you transcendence of the body and mind.
May take it away.
May take a couple things away from you.
But as you're saying, if you're of greater intelligence, that's not your concern, right?
Right.
Your greater intelligence lets you know that this one lifetime is a blip in time. It's one of many, many, many lifetimes I've been pursuing material desires and never have been satisfied. So you have that intelligence. You're not pursuing any of the material things anymore. That great soul is rare. Almost everyone is approaching God or spirituality to get something, even if it's liberation, right? Like even if they've renounced the things of this world, they want liberation, they want freedom from the sufferings of this world. So it's the Devas. If you read the Vedic scriptures, it's going to say, well, if you want this, you worship. It doesn't say worship Krishna for these things, right? But it says if you want this, well, you worship this Deva, you worship that Devi, that goddess. And Krishna's saying they'll give it. It's actually not so much to give great wealth, to give long life, to give even residence in the heavenly planets, which you lose after a certain amount of time. It's really not that much to give. What's rare and what's truly valuable is that all I want is right down to the very core of myself, right down to that all I desire is love, right? All I desire is love for Krishna, through Krishna, for every living being. That's become my only desire. That's the rare soul. And here in the Gita is kind of directing us to understand that more clearly than it had ever been explained in the Upanishads or the four Vedas before that. And it doesn't mean that those that are there, they're not disrespecting the Devas. They're not disrespecting the demigods. They're just seeing them in light of who they truly are, and they're respecting them in the context of, I respect you because you're such an important servant of Sri Krishna. You're a wonderful being that's taken on an important role in the service of Sri Krishna. I offer you my deep respect. It's like that. So it's easy to misread this as being sectarian. Really, it's not. It's just hearing Gita as it is, as it's presented,
as it is,
without imposing anything on it. Yeah.
All right, moving on. Text 18.
Moving on.
No one likes to possess anything that is like a will-o'-the-wisp.
Here we go.
Or a flower in the sky. Want to explain what a will-o'-the-wisp is?
Will-o'-the-wisp. Well, it means something ephemeral, right?
Yeah, I think that means. Shivaji says, what the hell does ephemeral mean?
It means something that's like doesn't truly exist, or something that's here and gone, something, like that.
No, yeah. So no one likes to possess anything that is like a will-o'-the-wisp, something that's just here for a moment, or like a flower in the sky. For everyone knows very well that things do not exist. When Lord Rishabhadev ruled this planet,
things do not exist.
Such things do not exist.
Yeah.
When Lord Rishabhadev ruled this planet of Bharat Varsh, even common men did not want to ask for anything at that time or by any means. No one ever asked for a will-o'-the-wisp. In other words, everyone was completely satisfied, and therefore there was no chance of anyone's asking for anything. The people were absorbed in great affection for the king, Since this affection was always expanding, they were not inclined to ask for anything. Yeah, all their desires were fulfilled. All right.
Yeah, so this, it's saying that these things they don't exist, right? In other words, from the higher philosophical perspective, again from the Gita perspective, right? If we go to text 216, had you ever memorized that one? I kind of have it.
216. What's the first word?
Yeah, nasato.
Nasato vidite babo na babo vidite sataha ubriyarasti dristyantas. I can't remember the fourth line.
Tvananyos tattvadarshibhi. The tattvadarshibhi, right? Those who can see the truth.
Those were seers of the truth. Yeah.
Yeah. Those who are seers of the truth have concluded that I'll kind of paraphrase.
By the way, that's a great verse because it talks the time of the Bhagavad Gita. It's talking about those from the past. It's talking about an ancient culture that existed way before the Gita. Those who are seers of the truth, they say that of the eternal, there is no dissolution.
The eternal. Well, it says of the non-existent, there is no endurance. In other words,
right.
if it comes and goes, in a sense, it doesn't even exist. It's like a dream that's here and
like
gone.
A dream.
And of the eternal, there is no change. This they have concluded by studying the nature of both. In other words, let's look at life, right? Let's really look at it and saying that these great thinkers, they have when there's something that comes and goes, in a sense, they categorize it in their mind as untrue, right? It doesn't mean that they don't get it, that you can operate with it, engage it in a positive way. But they realize that there should be no sense of attachment there, because in a short time, it'll be gone.
Wow.
And so it's saying here that through the because they had such, it's mentioning in this is another important part of leadership, I thought, in faith. It's saying that since this affection was always expanding, they were not inclined to ask for anything. So they're feeling like a very deep sense of, it said in the sense before that the people were absorbed in great affection for the king, right? That so their hearts were invested in him and what he was exemplifying in the directions that he was giving, and people were like, it's not so hard to get the public to buy into stuff,
Sure.
So, isn't it true? Like, I mean, they can buy, we can buy into such stuff so easily. What if that person were so exemplary and so good and so wise and so intelligent and so, that the people got behind it? This is saying we feel like that's impossible now. I think we've become so cynical. We feel, oh, come on, man, such a world could never exist. But it could. And here it's saying that in the past it did, right? And because Rishabdev was just so exemplary, both in his example as well as his teachings, people were getting it. Hey, everything that we need is being provided for us. We should be grateful for that. And we should understand that even these things, they come and they go, and we're not asking for any of that. You're shown the way, that there are higher values, that there are deeper spiritual truths that are much more worthy of investing our minds in, and we're satisfied, and grateful.
All right, text 19.
Somehow we had to pick up on this. Yeah, this is the last verse of the chapter.
Oh, wow. Once while touring the world, Lord Rishabhadev, the Supreme Lord, reached the place known as Brahma Varta. There was a great conference of learned brahmanas at that place, and all the king's sons attentively heard the instructions of the brahmanas there. At that assembly, within the hearing of the citizens, Rishabhadev instructed his sons, although they were already very well behaved, devoted, and qualified. He instructed them so that in the future they could rule the world very perfectly. Thus he spoke as follows.
Okay. So that's the end of the chapter. Why don't you read the little teeny purport in the...
Yeah, the instructions of the Lord Rishabhadev to his sons are very valuable. If one wants to live peacefully within this world, which is full of miseries, there's that half cup. The cup is half empty. No, it's just reality. In this next chapter, Lord Rishabhadev gives his sons these valuable instructions. This is a cliffhanger, Kastuba.
It sure is. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 5th canto, 4th chapter, Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The characteristics of Rishabdev, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, so this is a cliffhanger, right? Because you have, I just love these settings. I just love the idea that there would be large gatherings, not to watch cars crash into each other.
Although that is sort of
Right.
fun too.
No, it's not. It's really dumb. And
Can't like deny
What-
that.
what
There's
would
no
happen
pleasure. There's a type of pleasure there.
if all the sages were brought into that, if they were all looking at it, standing around and saying, why are they doing this?
Brought to the
These
brought to
machines
the
are
Columbia County Fair for the
Yeah.
what do they call it again? The smash. What's that? Demolition Derby.
the demolition derby. But
The Brahmins are
or
cheering.
Yeah, so many.
It's the
I
same
don't think they would
thing.
be.
Isn't it?
It's
the
not
same
though. That's
exact
the
thing.
point.
I know. But the point
Is
is,
it,
one's in the
Raghu?
mode of
Is
ignorance
it?
and one is transcendental. But people
Yeah.
gathering together.
Okay,
They're
that's my
maybe-
point.
their-
Yeah,
their, their focus is in one place. But what is
people
that
will
focus?
gather, right?
They're
People
cheering,
will
they're
gather.
excited.
Yeah,
They're
and so
eating
here the
things eventually. There's music going on. Unfortunately, it's a washed-up country western guy at the Columbia County Fair.
all right. So yeah, here was a society where people are excited. The king right now is going to begin to give spiritual instructions to his sons. We're all tuning in, right? There should be like announcers saying, "Hey, any minute now, this is going. Oh, hey, we got to cut right now. It's starting up right now." And then they'd be
Right.
cut into it, and there would be this beautiful Rishabh. This is what when we read Bhagavatam, we should engage our minds like this, right? Try to picture that assembly in our mind. Try to feel what it would be like to be there, to witness this, and then try to open our hearts up and feel it. Try to identify with the characters in it,
Gentlemen,
So-
start your yugyas.
Any case, so tomorrow is a day off, and then Sunday is Q&A. So on Monday, we will begin to hear this chapter with these very important instructions about life coming from Rishabdev
right,
himself.
Tomorrow's a day off. Mara's sort of been out of it. I don't know if she took any notes, but you tried your best. Okay, the torch has been passed to Skinnergy. Come here, Skinnergy. Get on the mic here. She's going to give her takeaways today. The bright light. Shine, oh bright light.
Skinnergy.
Haribol. Hi,
Hello,
Skinnergy.
Skinnergy. How you doing?
Haribol. I'm so good. How are you?
I bet you are. I'm good too.
She's just walking up to everybody. Hey, sweet soul. Hey, Prabhu. She's like calling everybody Prabhu. No one even knows what it is here in Goa.
But they like it.
The car.
I can't help it. Everyone is a sweet soul.
There you
Okay.
go.
Takeaways. Mercy is yours for the taking. You just have to desire it.
Ooh,
Okay.
just take it.
Lord
That's
Nityananada
Nityananda.
ki jai. That was
There you
from him. I meant to do that together. But
Okay.
when we're all grateful together, it will bring peace and harmony.
Yes.
Happy together.
The turtles.
Give me more is materialism. I am grateful is spiritualism.
Ooh,
Interesting. Breakdown. Okay.
Meet first in the gimme gimmies.
Krishna is like El Jefe. He's behind everything.
Okay. El Jefe.
Happy.
Gentlemen, start your yagyas.
I like
That's
that
a good
one.
Okay.
And
And return of the Kerala jellyfish.
Oh, it's back.
oh,
Maybe there's only
people-
one. The jellyfish can live a very long time. There's a certain type of jellyfish that's only like 4 millimeters across, and it can kind of like rejuvenate itself and like live incredibly long lifetimes.
They're
Do a little
definitely
research
from
there.
some other planets. What were you saying today about the person who was eating peanut butter?
Oh, they were shocked. I came across a group of Israeli people who were eating toast with peanut butter and tons of banana on top, and they were blown away by it. Couldn't believe it. And I was like, that's like a standard snack.
Yeah, like been there, done that every night. All of Israel's world is rocked. Nothing is better than this.
I wanted some. to be honest.
All right, people. Well, it's been fun here at the beach with you guys. Guess what, Vastuba? My book is done. My
Good for
book
you,
is done.
Robert.
I'm just doing the final read through. Coming here has been great. I just really got all my stuff done. I'm really excited. And thanks everybody for joining me, joining us, joining the crew. Stay warm. It's going to be cold, but I think it's going to get warm there, Northeasterners. It's going to have a warm week this week.